Yes, cook for me. This week's loser is next week's theme ingredient. And the commentators, of course, were the best part because they had no idea what was going on. There was the guy who was just supposed to keep the rambling going, keep the banter going. I have no idea what's going on here, but we're just going to talk really fast. Yes, what's going on there? I have absolutely no idea. He's just throwing shit in a pan. You had the actual commentator who knew anything about food, whose line was, I see. I see. Okay. And then you had this poor washed-up B-list soap opera actress just sitting next to there who had no idea what was going on. It was just there to smile, giggle, and stupidly uncover her tape. I like ice cream. Please don't hurt me. Because right behind her, her manager's like stabbing her with a cattle prod. Giggle stupidly and cover your teeth again. Do this or it's back to dubbing hentai for you. Alright, that's pretty good practice. Keep that going. And then the chefs were amazing. Masaharu Morimoto is one of my cooking heroes. You'll see if his hands are going a mile a minute, but in his prime, back in Japan when he was like in his mid-20s and just got started, his hands were like the Flash. You just saw his head hovering as rice and squid parts just flew everywhere. But the guy before him, who trained him, this man obviously trained cooking by going out into the woods and punching bears. This man was insane. I remember this guy would just grab a live squid and strangle it in a pot of boiling water with his bare hands, just staring into its eyes. Like, what is this technique? If it dies knowing fear, it tastes better. Is that a Korean technique? Is it a Taiwanese technique? It tastes better! Well, the theme ingredient was supposed to be mango, but you have fun with your squid strangling. So you'll be enjoying yourself. Now for the American Iron Chef, they've got the lights, they got the camera going everywhere, but they're missing something. They're missing that hint of danger. You need a little danger just to make the game interesting. What I'm hoping that they do is start releasing wild animals onto the set. Like a puma wandering around. And anything you kill in self-defense goes into the recipe. Bee souffle, anyone? They're everywhere. There's Bobby Flay dressing up, so we're gonna do a rigatoni, not really. Grab the heart, we're doing ravioli. Switch up, just dice that in there, get that into the oven, and snakes! They're saying that video games today, by the way, I don't do transitional material, just so you know, I'm not really into that. I just kind of go from one thing into the other, based on how my medication is wearing off. They always say that video games are not here to teach us anything correct, anything moral, and that's true. That's the best part about video games. The fact that they've simply gotten bloodier and bloodier means that the graphics are getting better and better. Games were always about shooting something, making something go over and making it... By the way, I'm just looking at all these yellow smiley chairs, and it's like a horde of Pac-Men. You see no Bleach cosplayers, we're safe, no ghosts, no ghosts, no ghosts. Maybe a Soul Eater cosplayer, I don't know, that'll come up later on. But I was saying, like, video games don't teach us anything. Well, in the beginning, like, people are gonna put Mario on a pedestal. Mario did not teach us anything good. First off, here's an Italian plumber who gives up his job to run around smashing his head against bricks. For money! Just money. Not only that, but eventually he's just gonna start punching things, and if a poisonous mushroom should wander his way, he's just gonna eat it so he feels big. He's just kind of wandering around with that. Not to mention the stuff he pulls on Yoshi that is just wrong. Alright, pulls on a saddle, makes him eat his fellow dinosaur brethren. That's slavery and cannibalism. Those are two such big no-nos, you can't even do that in Grand Theft Auto. There's not even a cheat code for that. This is big no-nos, they're not even in the 10 Commandments. We just assumed no one would pull this off, and Japan has made billions making a video game based on it. Thank you, Japan. So Mario's got head injury going to himself, he's got drug-induced delirium going for himself, he's just wandering around, he's holding his breath for a very long time against Squid. Why can he hold his breath forever and Sonic the Hedgehog drowns after 30 seconds? How is that fair? Mario's just kind of running around, there's Donkey Kong. I'm gonna hit him with a hammer. The man's an unstoppable sociopath. But after he keeps mowing down one castle, mows down another castle, he must be catching on. That's what all the fire pits and all the ghosts are there for, to keep the Italian plumber out, to protect the Mushroom Kingdom. Eventually must be caught on, so he's just walking up the path very slowly, pulling the gloves on. Every Goomba in the castle just runs out, throwing themselves in front of him. Please! Please go away! Please! Don't kill us! I swear! I promise! Your princess is in another castle. then it comes in. I am such a fan of the video games. I have another one? Yes. So of course, going around, a big release for anime this year that came out, they re-released Full Metal Alchemist. Gotta talk about Brotherhood, very happy to see it come out. I was a big fan of the original, it's okay for the manga, and what I have learned is coming down the line is you can't make a Maze Hughes joke ever. Maze Hughes is the 9/11 of the FMA universe. No one wants to hear that. And of course there are a lot of fangirls, and, you know, they have fun at conventions. I was hanging out with this one girl at a convention, her tongue was like Edward Elric, short and really eager to compensate. Charging straight forward at that. Hanging out with me is like Mustang, you know, it's hot. Ooh, bad pun, snap. Oh! Does anyone else just wish he would hook up with Risa Hawkeye already?
Yes! Wait,
I'm gonna make a bullseye reference right then and there. Snap! Just imagine that, takes all the boots, takes all the jackets, starts pulling, What do you mean, Risa? No glove, no love. Getting into a relationship with me is like dating Alphonse Elric, you know, really sensitive, but hollow. Hollow. It's not like making out with Armstrong, it's never like making out with Armstrong, although my shirt does come off that quickly. I'm just that desperate. My sexuality is kind of like a cat, not that it can feel its way in the dark or anything, just because it's down for 99% of the time, and when you start, it's not really happy to see you. Although on some weekends it's kind of like a dog, but like that disappointing dog, like everyone says, just take your shoes off and don't worry about the dog, he's gonna come at you like you're expecting this Great Dane or the Saint Bernard, and this little teacup poodle comes at you and you're like, something's wrong with that rat, you shaved it. Seriously, where's your dog? I've never made out with a girl who reminded me of Scar. I think my farts are more like Scar, silent and deadly. How's that front row working for you? I'm having way too much fun on this. There's so much that comes over from Japan that I wish that America would start integrating into ourselves, like manners, cleanliness, efficiency, seppuku. I love the idea of seppuku, the idea that if you fail hard enough, you publicly disembowel yourself, and then everybody's cool with you. Don't you think American television would be the perfect marriage for seppuku? Just imagine seppuku with American Idol. You'd never have to hear about the runners-up again, or Biggest Loser. Biggest Loser, seppuku, perfect. You failed to lose 3 pounds for your team. Hack off the leg that's at least 15 pounds above the kneecap. I've had a great time, everybody. Thank you very much. Live, laugh, and glump. My name's Uncle Leo. We have another show coming up tomorrow. It's going to be me and the EMP Mania coming up here from 1:45 until 2:45. We also got late at night, right before we close the garden, from 6:15 to 7. We are going to do the first professional cosplay fashion walk here in New York City. We are premiering to the world, baby. This is it. I'd like to bring back fellow poets of mine, the creator of Digital Era Entertainment, also the creator of something that we've co-made here in New York City, the web series Dojanopolis. Check it out, Ask Image Anime. We were there! So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back to the stage the EMP Maniac himself. This is Mario Bueno.